Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. Let me go ahead, give me 1 second to get set up here. All right, that looks good. All right, I'm still away from home. As you can see, we've had a good week this week. Been very busy with my crochet hook, and I have a lot of things to share with you today. Let me get my notes all set here. There we go. Is that the right one? Yes, it is the right one. Make sure I have the right sheet. Sorry guys to be a little scattered brain. I just want to go ahead and yeah, just check in on everybody just to let you know we're doing well. The week before last, we had lots of rain from Hurricane Debbie, or I guess it was Debbie. No. Anyway, okay, really scattered brain this morning. Sorry about that. Yeah, we had a lot of rain. So, and this week has been, the last few days have been really great with the sunshine. So I hope you guys are doing okay in this area. Just hope everything is going well. Denise, I was reading your comments. Let's go ahead and jump in to the chat here. Good morning, Linda. So good to see you in our chat today. And she says, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And thank you for those who've already done that. I so appreciate that. And Denise, this is what I wanted to say. So glad that David came out of surgery. He said he came out of surgery, had some cervical disc, spinal cord surgery this morning. And I will be praying for him. I was praying for him this morning. So, and thank you. Looks like Joni was praying for him as well. And I know many others. So yeah, I understand the sore throat thing. I had a very similar surgery, but a little further down on the cervical column about 20 years ago. I do remember that sore throat because they intubate you for that. But I'm so glad he came through that, and I will continue to pray. You're on my list, my friend. And Angie, good morning to you, and good morning to you, Miss Wanda, from Bahama, North Carolina. She says it's a beautiful sunny day in North Carolina. Praying for everyone in our group today. Thank you so much, Wanda. Yeah, it's beautiful here in South Carolina. Um, the rivers are literally still rising from the rain. They haven't crested yet, but things look pretty good. It's not, it's good news for this area. Not as bad as it has been in past hurricanes. So thank you all for your concern and prayer there. And I hope those of you who were, in the way of that storm are faring all right. And Mary, good morning to you. She says it's a lovely day. Hope all are doing well and sending prayers. Well, thank you, Mary. Wow, this is starting to feel like a church group here, but this is about crochet and yarn. Don't be confused. But we do have a very special group of friends here, and we love caring for each other and our needs. And for those of you who are brand new to the chat, this kind of all started during COVID, and we lost members during that time, and prayer just became just a natural outgrowth of what we were doing. So thank you all for understanding that. Yeah, and thank you all for participating in that too. I really do appreciate that. And Sandra says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and all my yearnies from a sunny Southern California. And Carol says, can't make the live today due to a training, but enjoy Hannah, Bonnie, and all. Carol in Oregon. Thank you, Carol. Yes, let me let you know that Hannah is back, and so we'll be swapping out tomorrow. I'm going to be heading back to Maryland, where I live, where my home is. And I'm looking forward to that, getting back to my studio where I have all my supplies, not just a fraction of them. I'll show you what Hannah brought me yesterday. I don't know if any of y'all have ever tried these, if you have any Buckies near you, but these are, let me see, let me just read. These are sugar-free, and these are just the funnest mints to have in your wallet or just to have around. One is cinnamon. Yeah, this one's cinnamon, and this one is cotton candy. I know it sounds juvenile and fun, and they're great. So she stocked me up on my mints, picked them up in Florence. Florence is not exactly on my way back home. It's kind of out of the way. So she was coming from Georgia, so it just worked out so she could pick those up for me. Thank you, Hannah. And I have to tell you, about class. We had on Tuesday, we had the intro to Tunisian crochet with Brenda Berg. She is my friend who's also a designer. She's been a crochet designer for many years, an author. She used to do writings for Annie's and Crochet World magazine, in case you recognize the name. But she taught us, I think, 6 new stitches. So these are some of the stitches we learned. We learned, of course, this is upside down. I guess if I hold it this way, this is the way you would crochet it. We learned the simple stitch, we learned the knit stitch, we learned the purl stitch, and we learned 2 different ways to do double crochets, and we learned the chain, very airy open chain stitch, which I'm thinking I might use for an upcoming design. Um, don't know for sure yet, but I'm going to definitely experiment with these. And the way Brenda taught them were so easy. And everybody in the class picked it up like that and just tracked right with her. Um, and just to let you know, if you're a watch subscriber, the recording of that live Zoom class is up on the channel. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I do have another channel. It's behind a paywall. We call it the Watch channel, the Watch, and it's at watch.bonniebaycrochet.com. And it's $7.95 a month or $79.50, I believe, a year. And you get a lot of nice things on here, including live live crochet classes of all sorts. We try to do about one a month. So this is the first time that we started doing this. You also get complimentary PDFs of my designs that are normally sold on Lovecrafts as just a complimentary thank you for being a watch member. And all the videos that you watch are ad-free, spam-free. Nobody tracks your time, or they're not going to come knocking at your door to buy all these other things. So if that's something that's interesting or valuable to you, I encourage you to check it out. It's just another way for my family and I to be supported by our craft. So thank you for that. And I was looking online the other day at some of the market for these online Zoom classes, and they average or start at about $50 for a class. So if you think about it, that's a really good value if you're interested in growing your crochet skills. I do specialize in, as you know, the cable crochet, the Celtic style crochet, but we do have guests coming in. We had Jennifer Ryan teach a class on the Celtic knot crochet, which is very different from what I do. And then again, Tunisian crochet with Brenda Berg, which is totally different. But I also have a lot of beginning things. And I think the next class that I'm going to be teaching live on Zoom is going to be more of a beginning class in nature. And it's going to be one of the classes that I'm actually teaching live in Pittsburgh this coming week. I'm going to be traveling, Lord willing, to Pittsburgh. I'm going to be driving there Thursday, going to be teaching Friday and Saturday. This is at the Pittsburgh Knit and Crochet Festival. And let me go ahead and just give you the quick rundown. We'll get the newsy stuff out of the way. So registration has closed. What's today? Today's the 16th. I think registration closes today. So today's the last day you can sign up online if you're planning on attending the Pittsburgh Knit and Quilt and Creative Arts Festival. It is August 22nd through the 24th. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be in Green Tree, PA, and you can check the link for the hotel information. Everything is at the hotel. So if you get a room at the hotel, everything is within walking distance. You're not going to have to get in your car to go anywhere unless you want to go out to eat for the evening or something. Friday morning, I'm teaching Intro to Crocheting Post Cables. Friday afternoon, crocheting beautiful trims and borders. Yay, balloons. And Saturday in the morning, I'm going to be teaching 4 ways to crochet the traditional granny square. So what's that? Balloon's going to come again? Okay. And then the 4th class is 3 ways. This is in Saturday afternoon. 3 ways to crochet braided cables. So the 4 ways to crochet the traditional granny square, I'm going to be offering that in September. Just for those of you who've maybe never done a granny square before, or you want to learn different ways. Now, this is not like the 1,000 different ways that you can crochet, 1,000 different designs. This is the very basic granny square, but there are several different ways that you can crochet that, and I want to show you that in September. I'll be getting the dates to you after the conference next week. I just need to get back home and really take a look at my schedule with my husband to be sure what I can do. But look, think about it, September, if you're looking for a class in granny square, or if you know anybody who's looking for something like that. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Heather. My goodness, thank you for the $20. Let me go ahead and add that to my notes. It's been a while since we've done this. Let me computer. Uh, okay, so we have a running tab with my channel whenever anybody donates the super chat donations. Thank you, Heather. Excuse me. Let me look back at that again. Because what we do is once we get to 100, I try to come up with a crazy or fun a parody song regarding crochet. And I just wanted to see, okay, our next donation, we kind of cycle through 3 different organizations. And the next one that I was hoping to donate to would be Shriners Hospital for Children. It's just to the general fund because they're such a great organization. And we have had really 2 people in our chat who have been patients there over the years, Bobby and our friend Esther, who's one of our administrators, and as well as my mother-in-law back more than 95 years ago, has been a patient with Shriners, and they help children, and it's free of charge for the families, and it's just a very, very wonderful organization. So that we also support Rancho 3M, which is a Christian school and orphanage in Juarez, Mexico. My daughter Becky and I have served there on the compound in years past. It's a real place. We know the people. We feel good about donating to them. And there's one more. Let me get the name of it. I need to get some brain medication to remember these things better. Okay, I didn't write it down, but it's the organization run by, maybe Hannah remembers it, run by Stephen Curtis Chapman and his wife to help people with adoption, domestic and international adoptions, just helping with the cost. So those are just 3 organizations I like to do that. And as soon as we get to $100, I will bless you all or curse you all, depending on how you look at it, with a song. Okay, I'm not a professional vocalist, but it doesn't keep me from playing around and getting messy and having fun with it. So thank you again, Heather. So let me get back to my chat here. Lynn, it's so glad to have you in the chat. She says, thank you. Thank the Lord for you, Sister Bonnie, and everyone. That is what I love about this crochet group. We all love to crochet, but when it comes down to being we are helping one another. Yes, that's right. That's what we do. We pray, congratulate, care. Thank you, Jesus, for Bonnie Crochet. Thank you so much, Lynn. You're so kind, so sweet. Oh, Terry, thank you. Archer and Ace. Let me add that to the numbers here. I know this takes time to stop and add it, but this is the best way that I know to keep track of this. Okay, so now we're up to 80. Thank you so much. And again, I don't want anyone ever to feel pressure in any way on this. It's never solicited, but you guys just have hearts to bless, and I just can't stop you. So thank you so much. And I know the kids, the Shriners Hospital will be very thankful for this as well. All right. Thank you, Sandra, for praying for David. For yeah, that is just so kind of you. And thank you, Lynn. Gosh, just for your blessing on all of us there. And Denise, thank you. Phew. Well, yeah, we appreciate you, Denise. And let's see. Hold on a second. I'm losing my way in the chat already. Oh my goodness. Way, way, way behind. Um, all right. And DL Chris says, glad to be able to participate in this group. Hope y'all have a blessed weekend. Thank you, DL Chris. You too. Um, oh, thank you, Lynn. Gee whiz, you're so sweet. Let's see. Red Hooked. She says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone. Hello. Looking forward to seeing you in Pittsburgh. And yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Denise and Hannah. I mean, Denise and Wanda greeting my girl Hannah. And Angels Crochet, good morning to you too. And Susie, hi to you. And Diane from Missouri, and Deanne, good to have you with us. And I Crochet, Sonia West, hey. And DM Tuzo, happy Friday, everyone. Hope you are enjoying a safe and blessed summer. Thank you so much. I wish the same to you too. And Angels Crochet says, it's my first time to be here on your live. Yay. Well, welcome. I'm going to be showing you something. Should I show? I already showed you some. Let me see if do I have anything else to show you all. You know what? I do have something to show you. I do have the winners listed in the community section of the book. This is from the video that went live on Monday. And let me go ahead and read who they are. Debbie J. and Kimberly Simpson. So if I have contacted them via email, or not email, but responding to the comments. So if that's you, I responded to the comment in YouTube and also on the Watch channel, but it's up to you to get back to me now. BonnieBay@me.com. That's real. It's not a scammer, I promise you. And I will send your book out. Probably be the first thing I do on Monday, because my books are in Maryland. I'm in South Carolina. So as soon as I get your email address, then I'm not your email. Can't send anything through email. Your physical address, it needs to be a street address, so, for deliveries. Then I'll get this book out to you. And it is really a wonderfully inspirational book. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Noelle Stiles is also a cable crochet designer. And amongst other things, she's a very talented young woman. And I do have an interview with her. It's about 45 minutes long, but I think you'll enjoy it. It's not boring in any way, shape, or form. And she talks a lot about the theory of color. So definitely check out that video. And if you want to get in touch with Noelle or follow her on social media, all that information is in the video on my homepage. And it looks like we got another. Lynn just pushed us over the top, I believe. Let's see if I'm doing my math right. Yep, she did. All right. All right, Lynn, you did it, girl. You pushed me over the top. So next week, I will try to have a song ready for you guys for the opening of Friday Fun Live. Wait a minute, but it won't be next Friday. How are we going to do this? Because next Friday morning, I'm going to be teaching class in Pittsburgh. So, and Thursday, I'm going to be on the road. I may have to wait 2 weeks on that, Lynn. I hope you don't mind. But thank you all for your support. So next week, so that's a good reminder to have to think through this. Next week we will not have Friday Fun Live because I'm going to be live at Pittsburgh teaching and meeting people. If you are going to Pittsburgh, though, join me for lunch in the main marketplace. My friend Jennifer Ryan and I, metaphorically, I'm saying join me for lunch because during that lunchtime, and once you get to the site, you can find out the specifics as to the exact time, and I'll be posting about it. Jennifer Ryan and I are going to be doing a 30-minute time on the stage. We're going to have a few giveaways. We're going to have just full of all kinds of crochet parody songs. And her daughter, one of her daughters, is going to be singing a really fun song too. So and she's got a great voice. I'm kind of a children's ministry average voice, and I know it. But I don't let that stop me from trying and having fun. So it's going to be kind of like one of those times. Think more along the lines of Barney and Friends. That's kind of where my range is. But anyway, we're going to be doing that Saturday in the main marketplace on the stage. And I hope to see you all there or see some of you there. And because that's when there's a break in between all the classes. So everybody should be able to come if you are able to do that. And what I'd recommend if you're coming is try to have something like a sandwich or something for lunch. Sometimes it's hard getting, I won't get into all the details, but I'm going to be having my lunch already in my refrigerator, so I don't have to worry about chasing down food in between. But thank you, thank you, thank you for those of you who are coming. I'm looking forward to catching up. All right, let's get back to the chat. Again, I'm growing behind here. Okay, I did that. We have Tammy from Oregon. I think I read that. Hey, Tammy. Yeah. And Hannah, thank you again for serving us and for welcoming everybody. And Kim W, good to have you. And Beth, good to have you. She says we survived the storm last week. 3 days with no power. Oh, yeah. I bet that was fun. Wow. I hope it wasn't too hot afterwards, but it's the summer. I imagine it was. Sorry about that, Beth. But I'm glad you got power now. That would be hard to do without. I know I've had friends in the past, and growing up in Florida, you could go weeks without power. And what that means is not even being able to pump gasoline out of the ground at the local gas station. So everybody's just kind of stuck. But glad that was not the case for you all. And thank you, Virginia Hannah, for your kind comment there. Very sweet of you. And Jesus Joy 7 says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and community. I hope you are doing well. Sending prayers and blessings to all. Thank you so much. I like that name. And Tammy says, I'm taking my entry, a crocheted basket in today for the state fair. Yay. That is great. That is great. I don't have a book to show you, but for those of you who aren't aware and don't do county state fair things, this is kind of the season of that year. This is the time of year where people start having fairs. I know some places don't have it until the fall when the weather drops. It makes more sense to do that. Like in South Carolina, I know it's, I think, October for the state fair. But my fair just finished up this past week in Maryland. Of course, I couldn't be there, but I did sponsor a couple of crochet awards that do have monetary prizes and a framed certificate. And I do have them on my Facebook page. I should probably, you know what, I'm going to try to remember post them on my community page so that you can see some of the things that earn special awards. But if you can work up some of these cable designs, hide all your strings, and do a decent job at it, I bet you would do well, because the more complex a crochet project is, usually the more points a judging system will give it towards the special awards. So yeah, and if you do enter into the fair, please send me a copy of what you do to bonniebay@me.com. I would love to, repost and show others, how well you've done. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about or how to get involved in that, I do have a book. It's on Amazon. You can look at the link in the video description to where my books are on Amazon. It's called Winning at the Fair, and it kind of tells my experience of what I've learned over the years as to how to, go for it's not go for the gold, but go for the purple. The purple is what is the big, the purple rosette special awards. You're not going to get rich doing that. Um, but as my husband used to say, well, but you go for the glory to some extent. No, it is a lot of fun. And I will say that it's highly motivating. And one thing I love about the fair is not so much the puffed up glory. Although let me tell you, I was the first time I ever got the purple ribbon in my life was at the county fair, and it was for an Afghan. And I felt like I was walking on air for a few days because I had dreamed of being able to get to that level. And I'll explain in the book what I needed to do that, and how you can, work towards that. Of course, that's based on fair judging, and a lot of times the judging, I'm not saying it's unfair, but I'll use the word subjective. Sometimes it can be very subjective depending on who the judges are and the judging system that's being used. But in the book, I do take you through an official, legitimate judging sheet that is used by a lot of people who are trained judges. But anyway, so I'm reading something Hannah sent me from Archer Nate. She says 75 hours without power. Please pray for my dear friend Deanne. She will need physical therapy and is worried about her cat getting out while her family is doing deep cleaning on her home. Please, please pray. Oh, okay. We certainly will, Terry. That can be scary. And I understand that the cat is a huge thing in a person's life if you're living alone and that is your main companion. I totally get that. Um, so anyway, but getting back to the fair, if anybody has any questions, please contact me. I can't say what the rules are for your particular locale, but I might be able to answer some questions and kind of guide you and, through the book, or, um, and just what is acceptable and, whatnot. But I do wish you all the best. And what I was going to say, one more thing about that is one thing that entering at the fair will do is it will take up your crochet level up to the next notch, because it is motivating, and I think in a very positive way. And it'll help you to want to dig a little bit deeper and to get better. And whenever you improve at something, it just makes you feel better, and it's just fun. So anyway, we have Lily C. She says hello and good Friday from North Carolina. First time on the live. Love Bonnie's teaching. Long time viewer. Thank you, Lily. I'm so glad you could join us. I'm waving at you. I'm just south of you right now, but I'll be going by you up on 995 tomorrow early. So yeah, well, um, and getting back to the without power, Archer and A says we're good, no power for 3, and Beth saved the kitties in the bathroom. Aw. And part 2 of that prayer request about the cat says her cat's name is Jax. He is very wild, only responds to her, and is frightened with any change. Pray he is inside, safe, and does not escape. Her friend will be devastated if anything happens to him, and I can't be there since she lives in Idaho. Oh wow. Yeah, I hope that turns out okay, Terry. Yeah, I totally get that. All right, and all you cat lovers out there, if you could please just keep her in mind, that would be great. Um, and Felicia, good afternoon to you, sis. I'm so glad that you're here. Um, and Denise says about the mints. Haven't seen the mints. These are these. I should have mentioned these are Bucky's. These are at the Bucky's. It's kind of a gas station, but it's like if the biggest gas station in the world and Walmart got together and had a baby, it would be Bucky's. It's even bigger. It's just a huge store. They have fresh. Oh my gosh, I can't get into it. There's so much. You can't. You just have to go. go to one if you ever see one. Just don't go on a weekend and don't go on a holiday weekend, okay? Go during the week, during the day, not on a weekend because they are so busy, crazy. But if you're looking for a clean bathroom, you won't find a cleaner bathroom anywhere. And they even sell artwork in the bathroom. It's an unbelievable place. Some people either love it or hate it, but I like it. It's an experience. It's just a whole nother experience. And they usually have about 100 pumps outside, so it's easy to pull up to a gas pump and get the gas. You don't have to wait, so it's amazing. And these mints are are addictive. I love them. They're so good. I like to have them when I travel. Angel Angel's Crochet says, I have lots of yarn, but don't know how to mix and match the colors. Mm, sounds like you need a copy of a color wheel or of Noelle's book here. She talks a lot about the colors. Or what you can also do too is just look at nature, look at pictures that you love, things that you love the way they look to your eye, and then just try to duplicate what you see in that picture with yarn. That's one way to do it. That's the simple answer. But yeah, experimenting with it is probably the best way to do it. Angel's Crochet. Um, we have see Heather says, "Hello, hello all. Finally made it live. Hope everyone is well. Love the Tunisian class." Thank you, Heather. That was that. Thank you so much for being a part of that. It was a fun class. Well, it was good, and I was just amazed at how easy it was to do this. I had had a little experience with Tunisian crochet. I think I was using the wrong yarn many years ago. I was using a cotton yarn, and it was just not a good fit. I used some of the paint box yarn, and it's just another acrylic, but I used this instead, and I found it much easier to navigate. And speaking of paint box, no, I'm not aware of any fantastic sales right now, but keep your eye out. I started the Christmas throw this week, and I am nearing the halfway point on it, and I'm in love with it. And maybe that's not really humble to say about your own work, but I'm just really, really, really enjoying it. So, and this throw is going to have the name Christmas Cabled Throw. Every time I've designed a throw for other companies, Red Heart Yarns, the name has been always changed because I'm asked, will you make us a Christmas throw? Absolutely. Would you make us a Christmas tree throw? Absolutely. And then when it goes public, since they own the design, once I sell the design for that, um, they changed the name to Holiday Cable Throw, Yule Tree Throw. What's a Yule tree? I've never had a Yule tree. I have a Christmas tree though. I know it's just semantics. It's just a matter of words. But sometimes people are afraid of the word Christmas. I am not. I adore the word Christmas. I love Christ. So um, it's going to be a Christmas cabled throw. Just to be emphatic about that. And I'm really enjoying this. And it's going to probably use less yarn than I anticipated. So I'm guessing it'll be less than 20 or around 20 balls of yarn. I don't know yet, but I'll let you know once I get it finished. Um, but I am really enjoying it, and I'm using cables that I've never used before. They're based on the cabling system that I use, but they're larger. And I hope you guys like that. And I just don't want anybody to get bored. Um, we have another prayer request. I will add this to my list. Jesus Joy 7. This person is having hip surgery next Wednesday, and they said they're trusting God and hoping everything will be fine. I have a reading I'm going to read at the end of this time today, and I hope you can stick around for it because I think it'll be helpful to you in that way. I hope it will be encouraging. I'm just reading what somebody else wrote, but it just really blessed me this morning, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But I'm looking forward to reading it. It just kind of knocked my socks off this morning. I needed to hear it, so I figured if I needed to hear that, maybe Someone else out there does too. Anyway, that's towards the end when I generally read something encouraging. And it's usually from either the Bible or from one of my favorite, well, probably one of my favorite 19th century pastors, Mr. C.H. Spurgeon. So for any of you who are familiar with his writings, they are pretty phenomenal. And we have Cecilia. Thank you, Cecilia, for being in our chat and just for your little praying hands there, praying for folks. I so appreciate that. And Sandra says, can use the tins when empty to hold darning needles and or stitch markers. Yes, you can. Um, I don't do that because where is it? Oh, I don't have my pack with me. I keep everything in one other kind of pack. And when I put things in here, I've done that in the past, but then I forget what's in it and then it gets filed away into oblivion somewhere. But yeah, you can recycle these. They're little tins and they're great. Yeah. Wanda Gordon, thank you for being such a good greeter in our chat. And but thank you for that, Sandra. That is a great idea. Cynthia says, happy Friday, everyone. It's a beautiful day here in North Carolina. I look forward to this tiny treat. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. I do too. This is my time of fellowshipping with the best people I know on the internet, maybe even on the planet. So you guys crochet, you care for each other. What's not to like? Kim W says, I am crocheting an Aaron Hart blanket for my friend that lives in Mexico. We met when our husbands had a conference in San Diego in February. She learned English from YouTube and is fluent now. Oh, that is wonderful. And Kim, let me say, making her a blanket. Now, some people out there might be thinking, Mexico's hot. Why do you need a blanket? If you're thinking that right now, you've not been to Mexico and been there overnight because it gets cold at night. I remember I have to tell you a little story. This is when Becky and I went to Rancho 3M, which is the Christian school and orphanage in Juarez, just outside of Juarez in Mexico. Right, it's one of those border cities, border towns, which are probably amongst the poorest places in the world. The border towns are really hard. They're really rough places. But anyway, we brought a couple blankets in our luggage when we were unpacking, and some of the teenagers that we were serving with. It was a youth ministry trip, and I was one of the adults to kind of go along to make sure everybody acted like an adult. And this was back in 2006. It's been a while. And the same people that I met then are still the same family that is running the orphanage and just doing a phenomenal job. It's a phenomenal work of the Lord. But anyway, these girls were laughing at me and Becky and me and saying, this is Mexico. It's hot here. It's 100 degrees outside. Why did you bring blankets? That's so dumb. Well, it wasn't so dumb at nighttime because in the desert, the temperature drops a lot and it was cold. It was in July and it was hot during the day. It was very cold at night. So in case you're thinking, you don't need a blanket in Mexico. Yeah, you do. And also depending on where you are in Mexico, you could even be in some of the mountainous regions where it'd be cold there too. So yeah, sorry, I'm not trying to belittle anybody or anything. It was just a fun memory, remembering. When you're a teenager, you know more than everybody else in the room, but you get to be our age and then you realize how much you don't know. It's just kind of funny. Yeah. And it's fun. Wanda and Lily trying to figure out where each other are in the state. Very cool. Durham. Very nice. All right. Yeah. And Lily's okay. In Raleigh. That's a little bit further west. Yeah. And Red Hook says, I can't wait to see you in Pittsburgh. I'm so excited. I really need this weekend away. Yeah, I do too. It's been a very busy, exhausting summer for me. And while this is, technically a work trip, it's really what I love to do. And it's going to be rejuvenating for me. And I think I'm looking forward to just walking through the yarn market, which always inspires me to new designs. We have I Crochet Sonia West says, my son was a Shriner's baby too. Wow, that is so cool. I mean, I know that's a struggle for the parents, but I just think how wonderful it is that, you can benefit from such an excellent organization. I hope your son is doing well. All right. I just got a lot of things load here. We have Barbara in the chat says, hello, everyone. Glad I was able to finally get on live. Prayers to all. Thank you, Barbara. Um, and Beach Girl says, got her book. Very interesting. Yeah. Good, good, good. And Infinitely Zero Nessa. Hey, welcome. And thank you, Wanda. She says she loved the interview with Noelle. And welcome, Debbie, to our chat. Debbie Pereira. Um, Barbara, you got brain fog. Join the club. You're in a good place with me, my friend. I started this broadcast with, trying to figure out where I was going. Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. She liked the video with Noelle as well. All right. And Debbie is from Arizona. Oh, I love Arizona. It always reminds me of my uncle. I'll try not to cry when I think of him. I miss him so much. He's with the Lord, so I get to see him again on that day. So, yeah. And Amanda Dove says, hello, everyone from here in the UK, just doing my pots whilst watching you makes it easier to do. LOL. Well, thank you, Amanda, for joining us all the way from across the pond. Oh, thank you, Denise. You're so kind about the song. Saying your song is definitely a blessing. You're so sweet. All right, so I think I backed up and got everybody here. All right. And Debbie says to Beach Girl, I'm thinking of purchasing her book too. Let me show you the book again so that those of you who don't know what we're talking about, and this is the book we're talking about. I'm not pushing this hard, but I know that some of you guys and ladies love crochet cables, and this is a very different approach. Okay, it's a different take on cables. I'm not going to go into all the details, but definitely watch the video. I have full size slides, from the book that we were able to put in there so that you could, get a taste of what Noelle does. Okay, but if you do any for patterns, just keep in mind that she uses a different system of cabling. So just be aware and learn the way that she does it. All right. Let me look at my list here. Okay, Monday. Let me tell you what we got. Monday, I don't have it to show you because it's in Maryland, but I am going to be releasing the Fast and Easy Bloom baby blanket. It uses the Bloom yarn by Premier. It's a thick and chunky number 5 weight yarn and an L or 11 or 8.00 millimeter crochet hook. And that's all you need. And for this blanket that I made, or you can use stash yarn at home. Always know that that's a great default, especially if you've got a bunch of number 5 weight yarn. It just uses wattle stitches and eyelet crochet. And I made this blanket, no joke, in under 2 hours. Very simple blanket, and I love it. It's easy to do, and I think it's a pretty stitch, and it's a nice lacy trim all the way around. So if that's something you're looking for, and if you don't have the thick yarn and you want to make it out of a worsted weight yarn or other weight yarn, all you need to do is pick a multiple of 3 plus 1 for that turning chain, 3 plus 1 for your base chain, and then you could still do the pattern as big or as small as you would like. I did make some progress this week on a sweater that I'm making from the Celtic Cable crochet book. This is the sweater I've been working on. This is the one that's an asymmetrical because you have a side here. Let me show you, and the back. Okay, and so the way this is worn, it's an asymmetrical closing. So you just put a little brooch or a stick pin or anything on the side, and that will close it up. Now, this is not complete yet. I still have the purled trim, cable trim that I'm going to add to this. I didn't bring the beads with me, of course, so that I could finish that off. But I'll be finishing that off once I get home. And here are the sleeves with the cable down this side. Now, one thing I will warn you about with this, be careful to follow the gauge. Also, have a sweater or cardigan that fits you well if you're making it for yourself on hand. And since we are having to use a yarn substitution, this particular yarn that I use tended to crochet up a little bit smaller, a little bit tighter than the original yarn that I used. What did I use? The yarn that I used to substitute, because the other yarn is no longer available, is Barocco Vintage DK. I highly recommend this. It's kind of a compromise between Fancy Pants yarn and El Cheapo yarn, if I'm making it away with saying that. It's roughly 50-50. Well, it's technically 52% acrylic, 40% wool, 8% nylon, and it's not super washable. It's the wool that has some bounce back, so it's not as loose as the yarn that I used originally. So all that to say, you have a couple options, is to follow your gauge very carefully. Another thing that you can do so that it's not too small for you is maybe even bump up one size higher than you normally would make, if you use the kind of yarn that I used, or something that's going to have some pullback. Okay, the original yarn was more of a cotton silk wool blend, but it was more on the cotton silk than it was on the wool, and it tended to stretch out a little bit more. But so this one is much more of a bounce back fit. So anyway, this is called the Beanie, Binne, cardigan sweater, or beanie cardigan. I don't have the book with me, but it has Binne in it. It's an Irish word. I'm probably mispronouncing it. So that video is in the works. I've had many people reach out to me to ask me to make a video. So I am almost done recording it. Then I'll have to edit it down. But I'm hoping to release that sometime in September, maybe. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a 2-part video. And I'll try to link them together as best I can so that you can, find all of them. Okay, and back to a question Hannah posted. How can people get this book? Check Amazon.com. That was probably your best bet. Just colorful crochet cables. So look that up on Amazon, or if you're outside or in a place in the world where you don't have Amazon, just look up. Let's see. Well, look at the video, and then look in the video description. All Noelle's contact information is in there, in her social media, and there'll be lots of things in there. Another resource for those of you who don't like Amazon for some reason, I respect that. Everybody has a right to their opinion. I love Amazon because I really like publishing with them. But anyway, either way, we can be friends. But check Walmart.com. Walmart.com has a lot of these things online. They have a lot of my books online as well. They're not in the stores physically. They have been in the past. 1 or 2 has been, but they're not there now. A lot of stores have cut way back or cut down to nothing on what they're carrying in the way of like yarn and books. It's really sad. But anyway, so yeah, so I wanted to show you that. And let me go ahead and show you this too. If you go to Pittsburgh, or if you just see me anywhere, I'm going to try to have these on me. If you see me in Pittsburgh, come up to me and ask, say hi. And I want to give you one of these, okay? Just for being a supporter of what I do. And let me show you what's inside. It's a little notepad for those of you who still, just lost my notepad, who still take physical notes, and a bunch of stickies, Post-it notes. These are different Post-it notes. You can peel them off, and there's a bunch of them there. So, a stack of each color so that you can peel them off and put them, wherever you need them to go. And it has a nice pen on the side and I really like the way these pens write, which is why I went with this company. So ask me, just say hi and just say, hey, can I have one of those notebooks? And I will get one to you. And one more thing that'll be coming. I'm hoping to get this out in 2 weeks, if not in 2 weeks, maybe in three. Um, is the bacon scarf. I've shown this to you a couple times before, and we can thank Miss Hannah for helping me to name it. And we named it the bacon scarf because the basket weave, which is on the side only, but it's all the way down the scarf because it looks like bacon. What's not to like about bacon, right? And so this is an asymmetrical, but it did come out to be quite a large triangle. And so we can wrap this around as a scarf, or we can wear it as a shawl. And you still have your bacon on one side, and then it's mostly wattle stitch on the other. This works up very quickly. What was I going to say about this? Oh yeah, this one is unusual. Usually the cabling is always on one side only. This one is totally, completely reversible. No matter how you wear it, there's no wrong side to it. So I thought that would be a fun benefit for some of you because it's not often that I do something that's totally reversible. All right. Do I need anything else? Okay. So let me get back to you guys and to the chat. All right. And if I miss anybody, I just want to apologize in advance. I'm trying to at least say hey to everybody that's here. And we got Archer and H's prayer request. I'm finally coming into that. And Hannah's responding to some of you guys are asking about her school. She says, school's been fine. I passed my anatomy class, part 1. Yay. And we'll be taking the next chapter of anatomy at the end of this month. So please pray for Hannah. She's got a lot going on with the anatomy class, plus being a full-time caretaker. That's a lot. And that's a lot. So please, thank you for caring for her. I know you will. And I just love it that we can pray. We don't even need a cell phone to do it. We can just pray wherever we are, that we can be on our knees. We can be sitting down. We can be driving along with our minds, just talking to the Lord, however we do it. And he hears us and he understands. I just love that. So thank you for the way you care for us. And I love trying to do what I can to care for you all. This is so much fun. And it says, if people wanted to buy the booklet thingies you were showing, how can they buy them? I'm not really going to be selling them. I actually might have them for sale up on a table, but honestly, they cost a lot to ship. I did give them away to some people through the mail, and it cost me about 3 times what I had to pay for them to be shipped, because I can't ship them at book rate because it's technically not, it can't go media mail. I mean, I could try to get away with that, but it wouldn't be being honest. So to send them out first class mail is probably more than what you're going to want to pay for them. So I just am reserving these for giveaways when I go to conferences and whatnot. So thanks for your understanding on that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be thinking about that though. If you're really that interested in one, I'll think it over, and if I do ever sell them, I can put them in my Etsy store. But I'm just thinking I'm just going to keep this as a kind of as a giveaway. I don't really have that many of them anyway. So, but thank you for asking. Or email me, bonniebay@me.com. We'll see if we can work something out there. So thank you, Lynn, for congratulating Hannah. And Ginger, it's good to have you here. And Ramona says, good morning from Anchorage, Alaska. OMG, we just had a 3.8 earthquake. That was a big jolt. Oh my goodness, Ramona, I hope you're okay. I know that's probably fairly common there, but gee whiz, that's a lot. Keep us posted. Let us know if everything is okay. I'll have to look that up afterwards. Um, oh wow. Jesus Joy, I'm running just now into your comment about the surgery. She says, praise God, I'm having hip surgery next Wednesday, trusting God, everything will be fine. Well, you know what? With an attitude like that, I think you're going to be fine. um, yeah, yeah, no matter what, with a heart like that, you're good. That's great. That's such a great way to go into it. Um, and thank you for caring for her, Wanda. And Denise, thank you for caring for each other. And Lynn says, clean bathroom. Yes. Yes. If you ever see a Bucky's and you're looking for just a clean bathroom, that's the place to go. Again, avoid them on weekends and during holidays. But yeah, because everybody will be there. I promise you. Um, and Debbie says they have the best bathrooms and several handicap stalls. Yes. And let me tell you, okay, going to talk about Bucky's bathrooms. That's what we came here for today, right? One thing I like about it too is they have kind of like a European, no pun intended there, European style door that goes from the top to the bottom. So that little junior who's, next door with her mommy can't climb under the stalls. They're ceiling to floor um, walls alongside of you, and the door closes all the way down. So it's not like those stalls where people can, peek under. They're very nice. They're very classy, and they have full-time attendants in there keeping everything clean, and they do things like say hello to you and greet you, and it's it's worth the stop. It's worth taking the extra time to go there, I promise you. um and Ekstrom is in the chat from Sweden. So good to have you here. It says hope little Jax will be fine. Oh, thank you for caring for her and her little kitty. um And Lynn says, I hear you, Sister Bonnie. Yep. And Wanda says, Amen. She loves Christmas too. Beach Girl says, Yes, Christmas. Talking about the name for the throw. Um, yeah. I get it. I get it that people want to be more inclusive and use terms like holiday and all that. I get it. In fact, let me say something about the term holiday is actually a contraction for holy day. I couldn't agree more. Christmas is a wonderful holy day. It is a holy day. That's what holiday means. So absolutely holiday. These are all good words too. Yule tree throw. That's a good word too, like I mentioned earlier, but not as good as Christmas. Just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. In a lighthearted way, not out to get anybody or start a campaign or anything like that. Good golly, not this time of year anyway, right? Um, Thank you, Denise, for the reminder of the thumbs up. I so appreciate you doing that. And Jesus Joy 7 says, Christ is the reason for the season. Yes, yes, he is. For the most part, yes. And I know some people will argue that, but that's okay. It's also a time for celebrating Hanukkah too, and that's a wonderful thing as well. Um, again, it's all giving glory to the Lord. And Amanda says, I just finished your oversized scarf, ready for autumn winter over here. Was a pleasure to make. Oh, excellent. Excellent. I've got several of those in case any of you are looking for like super scarves or, anything, along that nature. Let's see. All right. And Jesus Joy says, Bloom yarn is really nice. Made a baby blanket with just their worsted weight. Nice and soft. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I really like, and they have a lot of different colors and everything. Very nice. And Sarah is here. Says, hi, all. Beautiful sweater. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Lynn, for your encouragement. And Jesus Joy 7, thank you. Glad y'all like the sweater. Denise says, I'll definitely be looking forward to it. And Ekstrom says, lovely. Green is my favorite color. Good. I've got 2 or 3 big things coming out this year that are going to be green. And I can't even pronounce the first part of this word, so please forgive me, but it's Coffee Cat Crochet. I'm not sure how to pronounce the A with the little, I don't know if it's an umlaut or the apostrophe there. But good morning to you. We're so glad you're here. Um, and Jesus Joy said would like to purchase one. If y'all are interested, just email me. Okay, email me bonniebay@me.com and I'll get something. I'll get one in the mail to you. So just email me, okay? Lynn says the scarf is too gorgeous. I like that color. Thank you, Lynn. It had stayed in my stash like 3 years, and I just didn't know what to do with it. And I finally decided to do something, mostly to move it out of my stash, so I didn't feel guilty, and so that I could get on to using some other yarn. Okay, and somebody wants to know my email. It's in the video description. Okay, I'll put it here again. All right. All right. Jesus Joy said, woohoo to Hannah. She nailed it with the name. I'm not sure what that was about, but good going, Hannah. And Angie says, very nice notepads. Can we buy them somehow? Email me, guys. I'll see what I can do. I can't make any promises, but we'll see what I can do. Naming the bacon scarf. Thank you, Hannah. Duh. Okay, so too many conversations going on in my head right now. Yes, she did nail it. I was like, what am I going to call this thing? Because I don't want to use the word basket weave again, because I've used that so many times. So she definitely did nail it. And Cecilia, thank you for your kind comment. And I crochet. Sonia West says, still here, just grating cabbage up for the winter. Wow, you guys are amazing. You and my friend Barbara from Alaska, she's just doing all this canning and all these things she grows. Very short growing season, but growing things and canning them and just getting all the food ready for the winter. It's amazing to me. And let's see. And Shiny Phillips is joining us. Says, hi, Bonnie, joining after a long time. Sweater so beautiful. Oh, thank you, Shiny. And glad to have you back. Yes, and Amanda though says, well done, Hannah. Yes. And Lynn says, that's right, Sister Bonnie, about praying. Amen. Well, thank you all so much. Well, let me go ahead. Let me read. See, one more person. Carrie is in the chat. Thank you, Carrie, for being here. Wow. Well, let me go ahead. I know it's after 1, and I want to release Hannah so she can. We are going to go get some lunch together. We're going to have mommy-daughter date. Don't know what you're thinking of, Hannah. I'm thinking Chipotle. How does that sound? Haven't had that in a while, but we do whatever you want to do, sweetheart. All right. I am going to read you something from Mr. Spurgeon's book. This is Beside Still Waters. Yes, I do have an Amazon link for this book in the video description. And I don't like to push things hard, but if you're looking for something to read, encouraging Christian encouragement in the morning, this is it. It's just, they're just one pagers, just one page of reading for, and this book has gotten me through losing both of my parents and all kinds of stuff that this world can dish out. Hannah says, what about Taco Bell? That works for me too. So actually Taco Bell's a little bit cheaper. So that's it. You're a cheap date, daughter. So anyway, so this is what I wanted to read to you today. This is Mr. Spurgeon again, my 19th century pastor, preacher, man of God, originally from London. He used to, his church, the church building where he used to preach is no longer standing, but they have rebuilt another church building on top of that where he used to preach. And I got to see that when we were in London. So that was a very special time. Hannah says, when it comes about being a cheap date, she says, when it comes to food, sometimes just don't take me shopping for clothes. Oh, I'm aware of your taste, hon. I know. I gotta watch my wallet. All right. So we're going to read the title of this little devotional. It says, why do you worry? And it's based on a verse in Luke 12:25. And before I read this, I just want you to know I'm reading it not because I do this perfectly, but because I need to hear this, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it. Um, and see what you think. And again, this is for those who are believers in Christ, primarily. And if that's not you, it can be you. So it's not hard. You just have to realize your needs. Okay. Spurgeon writes, Christians are forbidden to be anxious. And he references Matthew 6:31 through 34. Look at the birds of the air, said Christ. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not more valuable than they? And the obvious answer is yes. This is from Matthew 6:26. If you have a Father in heaven who cares for you, every little bird that sits on a branch and sings, even though it doesn't have a grain of barley in all the world, should put you to shame if you are anxious. The birds live exempt from care. Why not you? Our Lord taught that anxiety is useless and needless. And I'll add my 2 cents, it can make you ill. Care and worry cannot add 1 cubit to our stature. That's from Luke 12:25. If the farmer worries about lack of rain, will this open the clouds of heaven? If the merchant is concerned because an unfavorable wind delays his loaded ship, can this turn the gale to another quarter? We do not improve our lot by fretting and fuming. If we were infinitely wiser, we would throw our cares on God. Prudence is wisdom, for it adapts a means to an end. Anxiety is folly, for it groans and worries and accomplishes nothing. According to our Savior, anxiety about worldly things is heathenish. For all these things, the Gentiles seek. That's in Matthew 6:32. Heathens have no God, and so they try to be their own providence. The believer who can say, God's providence is my inheritance, will not worry. Let the heirs of heaven live on a higher plane than sinners who live without God and without hope. If we are in Christ, let us believe in our God and leave the governing of both the outside world and the little world within to our Heavenly Father. Trusting in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. That's from Proverbs 3:5-6. Well, I hope that encourages you today. I read this right before I was able to pray through the list of prayer needs from people for over the years from this particular channel. And I know many of you are suffering out there. I know that, there's cancer, there are hip surgeries, there are things that are, very, very, very serious. All the more reasons to do what the scriptures are saying and what Mr. Spurgeon is preaching on here. Yeah, it's a much easier way to live for sure. And it's true. So anyway, thank you guys for being patient with me and for listening. I so hope you have a fantastic week. Remember, next week, I'm going to have to skip because I'm going to be in Pittsburgh. But in 2 weeks, I hope to be back here live for Friday Fun. God bless. Bye-bye.